um, letting Kiln come up and share the mic for a little bit, this beautiful facility that we're sitting in, so they can tell about their offerings and services if you're not familiar with Kiln. So here we go.
Hi, everybody. Is this on? Oh, okay. Might need to turn it up. Welcome to Kiln. If you haven't been here before, we're a co-working community, but we're also a space if you need boardrooms, conference rooms, event space such as this. We're here for you in whatever your business needs. We work with everyone from itty-bitty startups to really big companies, so there's space for you here. And we love to partner on events like this, and we're so excited to hear from all of the pitch givers today. Thank you.
Thanks, Michaela. Another sponsor we have in the house is Aaron Wiley. Come on up, yo. Here's Aaron.
Hello. Hi, everyone. I'm super excited for this. My name is Aaron Wiley. My friends call me Aaron. I'm with KJ. Oh, hey. And KJ, we are a mission-driven company. We go out and we find brilliant, talented people all around the world. Think of the top 3%. They speak incredible English. They have their masters. They're just brilliant, talented people. And we find clients for them to work with. So if you're looking to augment your team, give us an opportunity. Share about KJ. We pay them 5 to 10 times more. We move them to middle class within 60 days. And that's truly our mission, to change one person's life every day. So, and we're happy to be a sponsor for the People Pitch.
Yes, right on. If y'all get a little thirsty, we have a fantastic drink mix over here with Drink It In. So they're over here. Stop by, get a little soda. And here is the woman who put it all together, Alyssa.
Thank you, Cindy. I said it right this time. Yeah. Well, you know, the N and the D can get confusing sometimes. So anyway, we're so excited to have you guys all here. I'm getting familiar with the clicker here and giving you guys a little peek at the show here, right? So, Kiln, thank you for having us here. KJ, awesome work. We have somebody who's located in Playa del Carmen, and she does incredible work for Utah Advocacy Coalition doing our messaging, and we couldn't be happier with her. Only sad thing is she can't be with us today, but she's rocking it. Thank you for that. And Drink It In, Aria, we're so happy to have your drinks. We're going to enjoy those a little later. Thank you for being here. We at Utah Advocacy Coalition believe that every person has value. Every person has something to contribute. Every person has something to share. And it's just a matter of having that right support, connecting with the support that gives people the ability to show up as their whole selves and contribute in the ways that are most meaningful for them. And we also know that when there's a lack of support or little disconnects, it impacts the whole family. So, for instance, my youngest daughter's on the spectrum with autism, and we're very open about that in our home, and she is just fine with her tism. And anyway, but it's not just hers, it's our whole family's, and it impacts her brothers and sisters and my parents and, you know, generations on. So it has reshaped us, and really we've found that it doesn't make us any less. It really makes us more compassionate, more aware, more forgiving, more flexible, more crazy, but it's all good. So we are here today to celebrate giving as a whole. We know that the circle of giving has multiple sides. There's multiple people involved in keeping that going, and without each side, we can't have it happen. So People Pitch today is all about that, and all about those who are giving and receiving, and those who are helping fill those gaps. And we know that the solutions to those gaps in support, I don't know exactly what they are, but I know combined we can figure out where they are and find those solutions. So through connection and collaboration, we can change the way that we see the world, and we're going to work on that today. with this people pitch. So right now I'd like to welcome to the stage our giving voice. For today we have Steve Wright from Mountain America and then Pule from Eden K. So we'll go ahead and have Steve Wright.
Can you go back to the people pitch? Yes, it is. It's very uncomfortable. I told her to go back to the people pitch. Yeah, well, that's okay. You're going to go back to the people pitch, right? Yeah, okay. I just feel more comfortable. I feel like I'm looking at myself, and it's just very uncomfortable. Okay. Okay, thank you. I'm in PR, but I always say I'm the man behind the curtain. I don't want to be in front of the curtain. That's why we have spokespeople, and I'm not one of them. I always, when I did PR back in Arizona, I was always the one that had to bring bad news because our executives wanted to be the ones that were the bearer of good news. And so I always talked about bed bugs and turning off electricity. I work for a government entity. So anyhow, but now I work for Mountain America, an amazing credit union. And Mountain America, credit unions actually started to fill a need of underserved populations in the community. And so our purpose is intrinsically part of what we do in our giving. We love to give. We love to be involved in the community, whether it's big organizations, whether it's small organizations, whether it's a big nonprofit, or whether it's a small, just new starting nonprofit. We like to be involved because it is part of who we are, and it helps our employees. Our employees love to see us out in the community. They love to be involved. We go out and we volunteer. And it really makes a big difference. I want to share something a little bit personal, and I hope I can do it without getting emotional. I'm one of those guys that my kids call me Daddy Wawa. So I wear this, and I put this on because nonprofits have impacted my life because of people that I care about that have had services from nonprofits. And so that translates into what I do in my job and how passionate I am about us being part of the community. I have a son who, as a sophomore in high school, went through some very severe trauma and was suicidal and was in the hospital a couple times. And so nonprofits like Promise to Live, those are nonprofits that make a difference and that I want to align myself up with, and because they're out trying to help educate people about suicide and suicide prevention. And that boy still struggles, but he's in a lot better place than he was when he was a sophomore, and I found him curled up in a ball and had a gun. That's scary. And so anything I can do to support a nonprofit that supports that kind of education. This is also here because I have a son-in-law who is terminal with colon cancer. He was diagnosed at 25, and he's been with it for about 5 years, and is probably, he'll live long enough to see his daughter born this week, but probably not much after that. And organizations like Live Strong and these other organizations that help with cancer, my daughter and my son-in-law have been supported by so many organizations. I can tell you that government isn't the answer. The answer is in what government calls NGOs, or the non-government organizations like nonprofits of all sizes, and it's because they're at the front. They're there where it's happening. They understand it. They're passionate about it. And that's where it needs to happen. So when Alyssa talked about this Shark Tank, I think I saw on LinkedIn, Shark Tank for nonprofits, I said, heck yes, that's amazing. And that's what we need. We need to support nonprofits, and that's what Mountain America does. And I'm so glad you guys are here because we need more of this, and we need it more often. So thank you very much.
Thank you, Steve. Now we'll welcome Pule to the stage, and I appreciate you coming and being in front of the crowd today. Although you like to be behind the scenes, I appreciate it. Come on up. Poulet's going to share with us a little bit about her business and why she chooses to give and what she's learned from doing so.
Aloha, as I would say in my state where I'm from. I'm Puole Lynn. I am a fashion stylist and image consultant. I also have an event space and women's boutique in Pleasant Grove and a women's network, Elevate, a women's networking group. Sorry, I'm super nervous. She asked me, was it Friday? Friday. And to come share. So, and the event space hosts community and private events. And then the Zen room, which is part of the event space, is specified for meditation and hosts private sound baths. And the Women's Networking Group is designed to bring women to their worth and intrinsic divinity. So that is what I do. And I don't have a nonprofit. I have the privilege of hosting 2 events to serve 2 different nonprofits each year. And I'm very grateful because they're deeply aligned with who I am and what I do. And so the first is an event for the Refuge, the battered women's shelter in Provo. And I think this was the 5th year that I've hosted it, and it's a Galentine's night for the women there. So they come and they get to get a new outfit, they have their hair and makeup done, they have professional pictures taken, and they have dessert and a speaker. And then this will be, is it the 4th year? Will be the 4th year that I will be hosting children in Utah foster care to come and pick out a brand new outfit with tags on for the first day of school. So, and that is what I do, and I serve in these ways because I have the space, and I feel very grateful to serve in ways that are very much aligned with my purpose and my dharma. In Hawaiian, it's called kuleana, your God-given purpose. And I believe that we are each here to serve each other in our own unique ways with our God-given talents. And so that is why I do what I do. Thank you.
Thank you, Poulet, and thank you for sharing Kuleana with us. That's beautiful. I love that. So with those 2 organizations, we see there are always ways to give. We may not think, a fashion stylist has things to give, but Poulet has such a wonderful giving heart. She's found those ways and sought those ways, and she talked about 2 things that she does, but she does a whole lot more. She's involved in all kinds of giving, and Mountain America, goes without saying, is behind so many wonderful community events. Can we give them both a round of applause again? Thank you. Okay, and now we're ready to do what we've come here for. So we are welcoming to the stage 3 nonprofits. So the process was they needed to go online, fill out the survey, and share with us what they did. They had to answer a few questions, let us know what it was. And then our selection committee, who we need to thank, took the files of all of the nonprofits who applied, and there were several, so it took them quite a bit of time. They went through them all, and it was so hard to choose. When I browsed through them, I thought, I am so glad it's not me picking. So can we have a round of applause for the selection committee? That was a big job. These 3 nonprofits are the ones that had the community reach, the verifiable metrics of what they're doing. They were able to present themselves. We know they're doing a very excellent job in critical ways to fill the gaps in the human services that we need. So we're thrilled today to have The Road Home, Utah Foster Care, and Defy Ventures. So we're going to go ahead and get started We have, we're going to get started with the road home, so you're on deck. And we have a pitch timer back here that she'll be watching, and she knows she has 5 minutes to pitch. And then once you hear the buzzer, go ahead and you can clap. We have a 2 to 3 minute question and answer session. So we'll take a couple of questions from you, and then she'll wrap it up, and we'll be on to the next one. Are you guys ready for this? Yeah? Okay. All right. Let's go.
Me? Test 1, 2, 3. Yeah? Fabulous. All right. Good afternoon, wonderful friends. I would like to introduce you to Allison and Dane. Now, Allison and Dane, like many families in our community, were hit hard by the pandemic. Dane's hours were cut at work, and it put the family in a really tight space financially. Then, of course, life threw them a curveball, and Dane had an emergency medical situation that required him to have surgery. This put the family over the edge financially, and they ended up losing their home. Having nowhere else to go, Allison and Dane and their 2 young children found their way to the Road Home's Connie Crosby Family Resource Center, looking for help and for hope. That hope came the minute they walked through the doors. At the Road Home, they received warm beds, clothing, hygiene items, and most importantly, a dedicated case manager to walk alongside them in their journey. In the evenings, Allison and Dane worked hard with their case manager while their children were able to experience fun activities with our amazing volunteers. Soon, Dane was able to find a higher paying job. Allison found a job at a local restaurant, and continuing to work with their case manager, they soon found a new apartment to call home. They were able to move in shortly after their first paychecks. Now the family is excited for the future, and the kids love their new home because it has a playground in the common area. Now, have any of you known someone like an Allison or Dane? Or have you had a friend or a loved one that has experienced the same kind of stumbling blocks? And would you know where they could go for help? At the Road Home, a crisis can become a turning point. A road home changes everything. My name is Alicia Gleed, and I have had the privilege of working at the Road Home for the past 12 years. In my tenure, I have seen hundreds of families like Allison and Dane overcome homelessness and get to move back home. Since 1923, the Road Home has been helping people move home. First, stranded travelers, and then we continued the mission by really focusing in on families experiencing homelessness, helping them on that journey back home. Now, the need is very great. Last year, we served over 5,000 people with emergency shelter and supportive services, and nearly 1,000 of those were children. And yet, the need continues to grow. From August of 2023 to August of 2024, over 3,000 people, 2/3 of that being children, turned to the Connie Crosby Family Resource Center for help, and were unfortunately turned away due to the lack of shelter space and bed capacity. We are urgently working to change this. We have opened new emergency beds, a new family resource center, and are moving people into housing faster than ever. However, and we know that our model works. 82% of the families that we help move back into housing never return to homelessness. The family's average stay in shelter is just 6 weeks. And we have a street outreach team that in 2024 helped 41 families move from the streets directly into housing. This is the power of community in action, and it takes all of us. At the Road Home, we offer wraparound services, including housing, compassionate case management, and a strong network of community partners. We currently operate 5 emergency shelter resource centers, 3, supportive housing apartment communities, and permanent housing across the Wasatch Front. We have a strong strategic vision: address homelessness today and prevent it tomorrow. Our goal is clear: to end family homelessness in Utah, and you are all a vital part of that. When you invest in the road home, you invest in a proven leader in solving family homelessness. Stronger and safer communities, healthier and more resilient families, and a more equitable Utah. Whether you are an individual, a foundation, a corporation, your partnership provides life-saving and future-building work, and a Utah that we all want to call home. Your donation of at least $100 or more ensures that everyone gets to go home tonight. Thank you. Yeah, does anyone have questions? Yes. Yeah.
With the new center you just opened,
Yep.
what is the new capacity with that?
That is a great question. We are currently serving approximately 300 people with the current resource center. The new resource center will match or even be a little above that. So approximately 300 to 350 people, around 85 families. Thank you. Yeah.
What does the road home need to end homelessness for families?
Yeah, I think we have a couple of things. One of the biggest things is partnerships. We are working right now on a plan to end family homelessness, and that requires everything from community partners coming together to help find those gaps in the community where families are maybe going places and not receiving the help that they need, but also funds in order to continue that work, so that we can make sure that we have innovative solutions and partnerships. One of our big goals is to really look at how we can prevent people from entering into homelessness in the first place. So we are finding that people are turning to maybe different resources. They're going to, I think, 4 or 5 different places, and all they needed was maybe $200 to pay rent, and they would have never become homeless. So we're really working right now to build one. If you're interested in this work, let me know, because we need thoughtful minds. And then, of course, monetary donations are huge in order to fuel that work. Thank you. Question? Yeah.
Awesome job. I'm just curious on transportation to grocery stores or pickups or anything. Are you looking for volunteers for that? Or how does that work?
Yeah, no, that is a great question. So we partner really closely with public transit to get, if we can, free bus passes, trax passes for the people that we serve so that they can get back. Once someone has moved into housing, we also try to connect them with those community resources so that they can use that. At our supportive housing apartment communities, we actually have our team that will get a big van and say, hey, everybody who needs to go to the grocery store, come meet out front, and we will take them to that. So if you are interested in volunteering, I would love to give you my card and connect you with the people after. Thank you.
Great job.
Thank you.
That was fantastic.
Thank you.
So some of this magic was provided with coaching by Dr. Sydney Shorter. Do you mind standing for just a moment, Dr. Sydney Shorter? And then we just have a little token of appreciation for you. Here you go. Come on up here. And then Alicia, come on up here. We'll go ahead and take a quick picture. And if you guys could help me out with something, we have our videographer who is double booked today. So if we could have your help with a little footage, that would be fantastic. And we have a little something to share with you at the end about why this is so important. So, okay, go ahead and, Jenny, go ahead and bring that on up here. Thank you. This is Jenny DeHart, she's married to my oldest son. We love her. Thank you so much. Thank you, Dr. Shorter. Thank you, Alicia. Alrighty, one last round of applause for them. All right. Utah Foster Care. We all know so much about Utah Foster Care. I'm excited to learn more and to hear you pitch your purpose. Here you go. Let's go.
Everyone hear me? Okay. All right, well, I'm Crystal Ashton, and I work for Utah Foster Care, but my favorite title is Adoptive Foster Mom, Foster Adoptive Mom. That's my favorite title. In 2017, my family decided to become licensed to do foster care. We honestly felt like we were called to the work, and so we took the classes, we read all of the material, we felt like we were ready. I mean, we'd been parents for 15 years already. What do kids need other than, good parents, safe home, and love? Well, from the outside, we looked like a perfect family, right? Like, even down to our coordinated little outfits that we've got there, even my fingernails, I think, are painted purple to match everything. We look like the perfect family. 3 kids, a happy home, and hearts ready to serve. But we quickly learned that perfection wasn't going to cut it with foster care. It was a lot harder than that. One day I received an email from a caseworker, and she was looking for a home for 4 siblings. My kids at the time were 9 to 15, and we were looking to foster school-aged kids. But the kids in this email were 3 little boys who were 5, 3, and 2, and a little baby girl who was a newborn. Not our perfect picture of what foster care was going to be. I even read that email out loud at the dinner table that night to my family, kind of as a joke, like, ha ha, what if we all of a sudden had a baby? And as soon as I described the kids out loud, like the moment I described them, it just hit me right in my chest. And I looked at my husband, and I knew he felt the exact same thing, that those weren't just any 4 kids. Those were our 4 kids. This picture right here is of me holding that little baby girl for the first time in the DCFS office when we met all of the kids. She looks perfect, right? Look at those chubby cheeks. You just want to kiss them. All that hair. She's just perfection in a tiny little package. But I want us to zoom in a little bit closer. Look at my eyes. This is the first glimpse in our journey that foster care was not going to be perfect. In fact, it was going to become the hardest thing we had ever done as a couple or as a family. I can honestly say that foster care has completely unraveled me, and it's completely rebuilt me. We learned through this process that being a family is not about perfection. It's about connection. It's about reaching for something beyond yourself time and time again, especially when it's hard. So in Utah, at any given time, there are about 2,000 kids in foster care. That's 2,000 children needing connection. And while not everyone is called to foster care, in fact, there's only about 900 families in the state right now licensed to provide foster care to those 2,000 kids. While not everyone is called, everyone can be part of the village it takes to bring connection to all those kids. Connection, not perfection. And this is why Utah Foster Care exists. It's why we've existed for 26 years, and it's why we created something called Foster Family Camp. Foster Family Camp at Aspen Grove gives foster families and kids something that they don't normally get. That's a break. A weekend to laugh and heal and bond, and a chance to connect as a family. For 10 years, Utah Foster Care hosted Foster Family Camp. It was something really special. But a few years ago, we had to pause it due to funding. Last year, we managed to bring it back, and we saw the magic happen all over again. Children laughing in the outdoors, overwhelmed parents breathing for the first time in a long time. Vital healing happened that weekend in the mountains. But Foster Family Camp costs $90,000. When you break it down, it's really just $200 per child and $1,000 for a family to provide food, lodging, and joy for an entire weekend. We're already 2/3 of the way there. We just need $30,000 more to make camp happen this year. So I'm asking, will you be a part of our village? Will you help us give these foster families and children a chance to breathe, to connect, to thrive? Because when we show up for our most vulnerable kids, we don't just change their lives, we change our lives. And I say this as someone whose life was completely changed by an email about 4 kids. So let's do this today. Let's champion connection, not perfection. Yeah, does anybody have any questions? I'll answer personal questions. Even I know a lot of people have questions about foster care.
When did the eyes slow down?
So those kiddos in that email have been adopted for about 7 years now, and they've assimilated into our family, so I'm a mom of 7 kids, and I think the eyes are still like that many days. Thank you.
I love this. So I'm a fellow foster mom. In fact, 2 months ago, I got that same call, but for 5 kiddos under the age of 8. And I have them. So my question is, we're with a different agency, so is this just for the kids within the Utah foster care program, or is it for any foster families, and how do they get access to this information?
That's a great question. Many of the services that Utah Foster Care does offer are for all foster families, but this one is specifically for Utah foster care families. Great question. Yeah. Yeah. Yeah.
Hi there. I have thought about foster care for a long time. I got to get my husband on board, but I think, as I understand it, foster care is with the goal of reuniting children back with their parents, correct?
Yes.
So when you agree to take on children, do you have any sense of whether they're going to be staying with you for a long time, for a short time? Like, if there's adoption is an option, or how does that, how do you kind of navigate?
Yeah. The goal is always reunification. All of the data shows that kiddos are going to do better long term when they stay with their first and their biological families. So that's always our goal, to support those families so that that can happen again. In my story, I didn't know in the beginning what was going to happen. So it just happened to head towards permanency, was in my home. But we had a really great relationship with our kiddo's biological mom during the process, and we're able to learn a lot from her and know that she really truly loved her kids, which to me is important, that those kids have always felt love.
Can I ask a quick follow-up question?
Yeah.
So is there a way, like, if, for example, I would say, you know what, I have some capacity right now, but I can't do long-term, or
Yeah, that's called respite.
Okay.
And so you can go through the wonderful foster care classes. They're amazing and great for any parent. And once you're licensed, you can just provide respite, which is you could take in some kiddos who are with another family to give them a break for maybe a weekend or something like that. It's a great way to dip your toes in and really get comfortable with the whole system.
Thank you. Thanks.
Yeah, thanks.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and have a round of applause for Utah Foster Care. And can we welcome Jenna White to the stage? So Jenna White joins us as a People Pitch coach, and she helped Utah Foster Care. Come on over here with me, ladies. Join me right here. This is for you, just a token of appreciation. Thank you for your time that you spent with Utah Foster Care. When I called to let Crystal know that they had been selected and Jenna joined the call, there was some amazing alignment. Do you want to share any bit of that?
I am adopted. I'm also a birth mom, and I also have siblings who are adopted, so it was cool.
It was pretty crazy, pretty amazing. Yeah, so the connection was beautiful to see. I could see that on the call as an adoptive mom myself. I also have a depth of understanding of those eyes, among other things, and also the great love and the ways that it reshapes lives. So thank you so much again for your time. I do have to tell you, Jenna is a pitch professional because she won $50,000 from the NBA pitch competition. So, yeah. So,
Never pitch again. 'Cause if I don't win,
yeah, after that, it's all not worth it. Okay, thank you so much. Appreciate it. That's why she stepped into the coaching role, right? She no longer is pitching. Okay, our final pitch will be given by John Jackson from Defy Ventures.
All right, thank you everyone. I'm John Jackson. I get to serve as the executive director at Defy Ventures here in Utah. And I'm going to share the power of Defy Ventures. We are an entrepreneurship program that serves people who are currently and formerly incarcerated, helping them leverage their skill set that they've gained in the gang and criminal lifestyle, because they are one of the most overlooked talent pools in the country. And I'm going to share that with you with two stories. The first is of Shelly Winter. She was incarcerated for 5 years in federal prison for drug sales. That's a picture of her while she was incarcerated with her son. Before going to prison, she had no formal job experience, no tech skills, never had a real job. But she did have a job in sales, but it was selling drugs. While she was incarcerated, she enrolled in Defy Ventures. She graduated. She built out a business plan, a business model, and when she was released, we connected with her with a mentor. After her release from prison, she applied for a job at Microsoft, and they offered her a job. And then her background check came back, and they took it back, which is illegal. You'd be surprised how many companies break the law and then penalize people for their criminal histories. We helped her with a lawyer. She fought it. She won. And this is what Microsoft almost missed out on. 2 out of the last 3 years, Shelly's been the #1 Surface salesperson in Microsoft in the world. Not California, not her region, in the world. She got Google to buy $12 million in computers. They make their own computers. Microsoft changed their hiring policy because of Shelly. They now actively seek to hire people who are formerly incarcerated and have criminal histories because they know the talent that they have. Today, she's also the founder of Winner's Circle, a nonprofit teaching people who are incarcerated sales skills, how to leverage what they've learned in their life to become amazing salespeople. The next story I'll share with you is my story. I am a Defy graduate. So at the age of 11, I was on my way to school, and on my way there, I found my mom's murder scene. That was my first interaction with law enforcement. That's a picture of my mother, and that's me. After the murder of my mother, I went to live with my aunt. She was a drug dealer. She taught me how to be an entrepreneur. She taught me how to hustle. And at the age of 17, I took a drug charge from my aunt, and she watched as I was handcuffed and placed in the back of a cop car. That was my first time being arrested, but it was also the start of my criminal career. It also led to me spending 18 consecutive years in prison, where I joined the largest prison gang in the country, and eventually worked my way up to being a gang leader, sent to Pelican Bay State Prison in California, where I spent 4 years in solitary confinement. But that's also where I enrolled in Defy Ventures. And I had volunteers, mentors, CEOs, and executives who came in and told me that something I'd never heard before. You have value, you have worth, you have an amazing skill set that can't be taught at any university or any school. I believed them. And in 2017, I graduated from Defy. I went on to lead the program while I was in prison. And then I was released in 2019. I started my first organization. And I was able to scale that from 1 prison in California to 48 states and more than 800 in jails and prisons, creating a pathway for people who are currently incarcerated to go to college. I moved to Utah last year, and the organization that I started no longer needed me, which is a great thing. And then I learned that Defy wanted to start up a chapter here in Utah, and I knew that God had put me here for a reason. We raised the money to launch the chapter here in Utah. We've since launched 3 cohorts of entrepreneurs in training at the Utah State Correctional Facility, and Friday we graduated our first cohort. The core of what we do at Defy is a 7-month program called the CEO of Your New Life. It is 2,000 pages of curriculum. They build resumes, I identify their transferable skill sets, develop business models, and give a business plan that all culminates in a business pitch competition. Post-release, we help them launch their businesses. We have partnerships with Google, Apple, LegalZoom, so they can launch their businesses, and we've launched more than 200 businesses by our graduates. Why it works? Our recidivism rate ain't working. Prison is a business, my people. It's a business, and when your customers aren't coming back, you're not winning. Our goal is to break that cycle. Our recidivism rate for our graduates, we have more than 7,000, is less than 10%. The unemployment rate after release, 60% of people don't have a job. For us, 90 days out of prison, 80% of our employees, 80% of our graduates find a job. So my ask today is, if you were inspired, that's great. But I want you to take action. I want you to turn your inspiration into action, and I want you to consider coming to prison and being a business coach and a mentor and investing in our entrepreneurs in training the same way that people invested in me. Thank you. Questions? If you scan that QR code, you can come to prison. We have some people who have been here before. Don't worry, I promise you will be safe.
It's not a question, but just an echo invitation for everyone. I was able to attend the graduation this last Friday, and it was like one of the most beautiful experiences of my life. And John just, and his Defy Ventures changes lives. So I invite everyone to take the ask and scan the QR code and help build our community.
Yes, sir.
Do you partner with other organizations that have like or similar type missions or goals?
Yes, so we do. So here in Utah, we're new. So if you know who those organizations are, the first one that we are looking to partner with is the Other Side Academy. So we can start funneling our graduates straight in there, right? So we close that gap where they have a place to go. So we are partnering with the Other Side Academy so people can go there, learn, and continue their transformation. Yeah. Anyone else? Yes, sir.
Can you just speak to what this entails?
Yeah, so it's what's going on right here in this photo. The whole business coaching. So you come in, we coach them on resumes, their business ideation, a business pitch. So we're looking for you to come in and be business coaches and help them identify what's that transferable skill set that they have. Because many people, they've been beaten down with shame, called animals and monsters. But when you can come in and help them identify the skill set that they have as an employee, as a founder, a CEO, and say, hey, you know what, dude? You used to sell drugs. Great. You're going to be a great marketer. You're going to be a great salesperson. You have this skill set. And just honestly, telling them they have value and worth can be one of the most powerful things that you can do.
So what kind of commitment? Is it like over?
It's one day.
It's a one day thing.
It's one day, and it can last. So our business pitch competitions usually go from 10 a.m. to 7 p.m. And you will be tired at the end of the day, but you will not be able to sleep. Yes, sir.
Do you also help out with administrative things like registering an LLC or
yes, so
what does that look like?
LegalZoom, we have a partnership with LegalZoom. So for our graduates who come out, they're able to reach out to LegalZoom. We make that connection. They help them to incorporate their business for free. And we have an entrepreneurship pathway that will also get them to capital funding up to $10,000. We're not equity, just it's a grant for help them start their business. Yeah. All right. Yes, ma'am.
Funding for post-incarceration is pretty limited.
Yes.
How are you funding this right now?
My job is to fundraise, and I'm very effective at my job. Yes. But that does not mean that that is not by any means saying we are fully funded. We would gladly, there was always a need. Yes.
Did I see another question over here? Okay.
All right.
All right. Thank you, John.
Thank you.
That was incredible.
Oh, and I got my awesome program manager right here, too.
Say it one more time.
So we got our awesome program manager here who goes in and leads our classes.
Oh, fantastic.
Oh.
All right. Neat.
Oh, where's my coach? Deb.
Deb Gabor, would you mind joining us here on stage? So Deb comes with a very great depth of knowledge in all kinds of marketing and she's a pitch pro. So here, come on over here by John.
We have the tallest person and the shortest person in the room next to you.
And you look fantastic.
For awkward photos, right? Right. Anyway, so proud of you. Did such a good job.
Thank you. Thank you for coaching me.
Can you tell us really quick about your connection to his organization?
Yeah, it was one of those weird connections. First of all, I'm fascinated with entrepreneurship, being a 23-year entrepreneur myself and working with lots of early stage companies, helping them pitch investors, raise money, start companies, get them off the ground and whatever. And then also there was this weird connection through EO, Entrepreneurs Organization. So John's wife and I actually spoke at an EO conference in the same place at the same time, and that's where I first became acquainted with Defy Ventures. And then when I had an opportunity to coach him, which he didn't really need any coaching, you guys, so good, I was like, this is like such a good fit with my passion, which is entrepreneurship, because making businesses better creates healthy economies, which is good for humans. And John was doing the same thing, just in a different way. So it was like a really weird sort of kismet connection. And then like knowing people who know each other and things like that just made. And oh yes, and I told John this story. I've written a bunch of books on branding, and one of my books is called Branding is Sex, Get Your Customer Laid and Sell the Hell Out of Anything. I'm not lying. But a young man who was in prison in Texas picked up that book as part of his own sort of self-development process, and he started writing me letters about branding and about starting a company and getting things off the ground and stuff like that. And so the women in my office and I, we took this on as a project over a series of months, and we responded to all of his letters and all of his in-depth questions about branding and stuff. And so there was also that connection. So if you have an opportunity to volunteer through this program, which what a great launch this is, I recommend it very highly. And you'll find really amazing connections through your heart, through your business, through your life in places where you maybe never expected them to come from.
Thank you. Thank you for sharing that. It was incredible, wasn't it? Yeah.
Thank you.
Talk about having something to give, right? I mean, in the most unlikely places, we find these synergies that are just incredible. And that morning when I gave them their calls was so fun. It was so fun to see their expressions and see that they were ready for this. And the turnaround time on this particular event was really crazy. I mean, it was nuts, but we wanted to have it in May, and we made it happen in May, thanks to each and every one of you who contributed to this. There's so many people behind the scenes that have made it happen. And we have one last Giving Voice spotlight to share, and we'd like to welcome Lavanya Mahate to the stage. She has a few different entities, so she has a great story. Saffron Valley is her business entity, and then springing out of that, she has created a Rise Culinary Institute. And we wanted to have her share with us two things: why she chooses to give, and what she has learned through that giving.
Earlier this year, I was nominated for the James Beard Foundation's Outstanding Restaurateur Award. Thank you. It's a recognition that only a handful of people across the nation get to enjoy, but I was not always this successful. An arranged marriage, a dependent visa, a whole lot of limitations, and a heart full of hope was all I had when I moved from India to Utah in 2001. I had the education, I had the passion, I had the drive, but not the ability to act on it. I couldn't build a career, I couldn't give back in ways that I wanted to. I did not know anyone, and frankly, I felt like my voice didn't matter. But something inside me said that this is not the end of your story. So I started small, I started where I could, and I volunteered at the Salt Lake Chamber's Women's Business Center, which is where I started finding my purpose, my community, my connections, and my confidence. Eventually, I turned towards something that was close to my heart, which was spices. I had a line of spice blends at the farmer's market. No storefront, no big plans, just a table, some jars, and a dream. The following year, I started my first restaurant, then another and another. Over the next 10 years, I built multiple successful restaurants, but most importantly, I built a strong sense of self. I broke through cultural and societal expectations, conditioning, and barriers, and leaned into the powerful woman that I was always meant to be. And I get to share that with other women through my story, through my journey. I started the Rice Culinary Institute, a nonprofit organization that provides free culinary training, tools, and resources to refugee and immigrant women. Women who are starting over just like I did. But Rise is so much more than just food. It's about rebuilding lives. It's about opportunity, because we all know when we give opportunity to a woman, she not only uplifts herself, but her family, her community, and the world at large. And this is what motivates me every single day to do what I do. Thank you.
Thank you so much, Lavanya. My husband and I owned a restaurant for a little while down in South Texas, and we know that it's a very tight margin, and it really would be hard in many ways to find a way to give. So I love your story of how you found a way to give and bring it all under one roof and make lives better because of it. Well, we have 3 nonprofits who have actually contributed a prize for any nonprofit in attendance today. So what we would like you to do, these are our prizes. We have Make Utah, who has offered 1 month of free office space, the desk and the whole bit, everything you need to be able to office in their space for 1 month. They're down there in the Lehigh area. We have Turn Community Services, who has given us their boardroom and training facility. And you're able to come and host your event there if you need that space, free of charge. And then Tanner Crandall, he is somebody who has worked in the nonprofit sphere for a long time. Mothers Without Borders is where he found his footing and did a lot of work, and he has offered a nonprofit assessment for $300 of value for free. So what we'd like you to do, if you are a nonprofit in attendance today, go ahead and share your pictures online, tag People Pitch, tag Utah Advocacy Coalition. We will select one of you to win that, and we will announce it next time. Okay, can we have a little round of applause for Make It Utah, Turn, and Tanner? Everyone did an excellent job, don't you think? The voices were incredible. I was really touched by your stories. These were organizations that I've heard about, I know, somewhat about, but hearing you pitch today was inspiring. I loved it. It was incredible. Of course, I've seen behind the scenes and the connections that were made with your coaches. All of that was also amazing. There's so many organizations in the community that want to help. And I don't know if, as you sat here today, if it stirred things in you about how you want to help or different ideas about ways that you fit in the community. But if it did, and you want to take 1 minute to share what you thought about, we welcome you to have the mic for just a minute. If there's anyone who thinks about it differently, did it change the way you see the world today?
No, I just wanted to, can you hear me? Okay. I just wanted to share, where did he go? The Defy, oh, there he is. No, so my, TMI, my ex-husband, he's also an entrepreneur of sorts. But that is a conversation that, like, my kids and I have had many times. So I just appreciated the, I guess, parallel to entrepreneurship. Because, yes, they are in sales. Maybe the wrong sales, depending on who you are. But I think that, I don't know, he's still in prison to this day. He loves it there, I think. But it's hard to get people out of that mindset when the world and society is telling people that they're less than because of the sales that they chose, if that makes sense. So I just really appreciate what you're doing, and I thought that was really cool.
Thank you. Thank you. Is there anyone else who wants to share? All right. Advocacy is using your voice and being able to share what you know and how your perspective has changed. And we want you to take what you've learned from today out there and share what you know about giving and how you can help and how you can receive. So there was one organization that when they heard this was happening today, they couldn't let it go by without supplying a prize. So if we could welcome all three back to the stage. The road home, Alicia, come on up. We'd like John, Defy Ventures, come back on up. And Crystal, please join us up here. And let's go ahead and have your coaches join you too. Come on up, coaches. Come stand with we want the whole team up here. And now we would like to welcome Stapp Construction to the stage. We have Jared Stapp from Stapp Construction, who is generously offering these nonprofits some reward for what they did today. Come on out here. Come on over. Come on over here. All right, Jared, here we go. Can you tell us about why you choose to give?
Yeah, this is an exciting event for me because I've not had the opportunity to do this, but got the invite, and we have been putting together. We're not a nonprofit, but we want to give, so we've been setting aside money to give for great people like you guys, and so it's an exciting time for us to be able to do that. So thank you guys, and I enjoyed each of your presentations. It was well done. So I have a check for each of you, and I'll give you that to you.
Okay. Here you go. We're going to let them open the check and reveal what the prize is. Go ahead and open your checks. Let's see what we've got. $1,000. Thank you so much, Jared. Appreciate it. Yes, thank you. All right. Thank you, Stapp. So they're out building bridges. Physical bridges. Yes, we need you right back up here, Jared. Come back on up here in the middle. He's the man with the thing we all need to make it go around, right? Come on over there. Jump right on in there in the middle. We'll take a picture. Thank you. So Stapp Construction is a family organization, and it's been around for how many years?
My dad started it 45 years ago. Yeah.
So it's on to its next generation. Thank you so much for giving. Thank you for helping this great work go on. Seeing all of you here and taking these 2 hours from your Tuesday to be here is inspiring to me. I'm loving to see this. As we go forward, we want to do this every month, with the exception of July and August. We're going to take that off. Nobody needs to be inside in July and August. So we are going to pitch again June 17th here at Kiln. Nonprofits are welcome to enter. You go to utahadvocacy.org. You'll hit apply to pitch, submit to pitch, and you can put in all of your information. The selection committee will then choose again. It's a rolling submission from here on out. So if you submitted last time and you weren't chosen, you might be this next month. So we will have new coaches who will pitch again, coach again. And then we also have some additional coaches to announce who are helping drive this forward. You know, as we like and share and enjoy each other's connections, that's what it's all about. So we're excited to have all of that go on. We're watching for your social media posts. I'd like to take a selfie from the stage with you. Cindy, do you want to come up here and capture that with me? And Alicia, if you could come on up. Alicia prepared the pitch deck. Cindy's been behind the scenes here. Vanessa has been super helpful. She's helping Utah Advocacy do all kinds of things. We have capacity conversations, which are happening also on Tuesdays each month. So follow us on our social media and you'll see more there. But let's take that picture together. You ready? Come on over.
As the top folks come down for this selfie real quick, I just wanted to give a shout out to Alyssa. We've been chatting about this. We've been having conversations 3 or 4 hours long. You know, we're on each other's speed dial since January. We ran into each other during Utah Tech Week and Silicon Slopes, and we're like, yada, yada, yada. She's formulated this fantastic activation that's going to keep living. My viewpoint of helping with this and brainstorm is the educational piece of all of the resources of just within arm's reach, and all we need to do is share our stories. And so creating spaces like this, coming in where you all can share, chit chat afterwards, and then just let everything blossom is really, really special. I did want to remind you guys, as you walk out, these pins that were the star pins, if you know someone or have someone in your life that needs some extra support, and it's a pledge that we support them, we support the companies who see them as well. So be sure to pick one of these up, rock them, put them on your purse, your bag. But thanks for being here. We'll do a selfie. Right? Yeah. Understand. Thank you, everybody.
That is good. Enjoy your drinks from Drink It Up right over here. We've got some fun dirty sodas.